Hello, welcome to this general election candidate forum, live streamed to YouTube and co-sponsored by the Daily Record newspaper and the League of Women Voters. My name is Charlie Sorensen and I am the Voter Services Chair for the League of Women Voters, Kittitas County. Founded in 1920, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization with 800 affiliates across the country. It encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. The League never endorses or opposes candidates or political parties at any level. We don't care how you vote, only that you vote. League membership is open to all genders, ages 16 and over, and we invite you all to join us. Our moderator for this candidate virtual forum event is Catherine Murphy. Catherine has been a member of the League since 2017, where she has filled a variety of roles at the state and local level. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm very pleased to moderate our candidate forums for the 2020 general election. These events offer voters the opportunity to hear candidates directly respond to community questions. The League of Women Voters records and retains a full unedited copy of all candidate forums. If any portion of a League forum is redistributed out of context to make a candidate appear to say something they did not say, or are edited to make a candidate look bad, or in any way they did not actually look at the original forum, then the League of Women Voters will alert the media, provide the unedited video for comparison, and file appropriate complaints with any applicable governing agency. As we begin, I want to note that our ballot should arrive by October 16th. Please call the auditor's office if you don't receive yours by then. You still have time to register or change your address. You can do so online until October 26th and in person at the auditor's office through 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 3rd. Your ballot must be postmarked on or before November 3rd. There are 9 ballot drop boxes throughout Kittitas County. In addition to tonight's live stream event, the recording will be on the Kittitas County League YouTube channel. We thank the following media partners for also sharing these forums: the Ellensburg Daily Record newspaper, Ellensburg Community Television, Spectrum, Channel 191, and Inland Networks. We've discussed the ground rules for the forum with the candidates prior to today's event. My job is to keep us on time and on task, which means that if a candidate goes past their time, I will move us along. The candidates have the opportunity to make a 60-second opening statement. Then we will ask 5 prepared questions that we sourced from the community. We provided these questions to the candidates 2 hours ago, and they will have 60 seconds to respond to each question. Then we will move to 3 live stream audience questions. The candidates will have 90 seconds to respond to each of these questions. The forum will conclude with a 60-second closing statement by each candidate. If you're viewing this live, you can submit a question by texting to 509-654-9030. The questions must be for both candidates. League members will review the questions. We may combine or edit them for clarity, nonpartisanship, and time limitations. So for tonight's forum, which is on the Public Utility District Commissioner job, commissioners serve a 6-year term. They ensure the district continues to deliver affordable, dependable electricity to rural and urban areas. The commission establishes policy, approves plans, budgets, and expenditures, and reviews the district's operations. The legal responsibilities and powers of the district, including the establishment of rates and charges for services rendered, are exercised through the commission. I would like to welcome Rick Catlin and Pat Kelleher to this forum. Thank you both for taking the time to be with us, and thank you for your willingness to serve our community as Public Utility District Commissioner in District 1. As we discussed earlier, I will alternate who answers the questions first. We will begin with Rick Catlin, and you have 60 seconds to make your opening statement at this time.
Hello, my name is Rick Catlin, and I'm running for PUD Commissioner, District 1. I've been an electrician since 1983 And in 1984, I started with my wife, Tara, an electrical contracting business. Operated that business with several full-time employees until 16, when we sold it to our sons. I can continue to work part-time because I love what I do. Kittitas County PUD is a vital part of the growth and success of Kittitas County. I'm running for District 1 Commissioner to help continue that success. I feel that I'm in a unique position because as an electrical contractor, I've worked with all 3 electrical utilities in the valley on behalf of farmers, ranchers, homeowners, and business owners alike. And I've seen both the strong points and things I think can be improved on moving forward in a great partnership with the same people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kelleher, you have 60 seconds to make your opening statement.
Thanks, Catherine. Pat Kelleher, and I'm running for PUD Commissioner. This month, I want to remind everybody in Kittitas County that can vote for this position that you are the owners of Kittitas PUD. When you open your electrical bill this month, whether from PSE, the City of Ellensburg, or Kittitas PUD, you are going to pay over $100 per 1,000 kilowatts of electricity. Now, there's a way next month for you to pay less, a lot less, as little as $34. And that is to uproot your family and move to Chelan County. My wife, Peggy, and I, we were born in Kittitas County. We went to school in Kittitas County. We raised our family in Kittitas County, and we live in Kittitas County. I know how to pay less for electrical rates. Own a dam on the Mid-Columbia. I want your vote so that we can prepare to compete for Rock Island Dam in 2023 and bring electrical rates to pay less in Kittitas County. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move to question 1. What priorities do you have for new PUD investments and improvements in service? And Mr. Kelleher, you start and you have 60 seconds to respond.
Thanks, Catherine. That's an excellent question. And I need to go back to my original statement. Everybody in Kittitas County is an owner of Kittitas PUD. My #1 priority is to prepare us for the competition to compete for Rock Island Dam in 2023. It's a once in a 50-year opportunity to pay less for electrical service in Kittitas County. Every business, every individual will benefit by paying less. And I look forward to them being the people to reinvest those savings back into the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Catlin, you have 60 seconds to respond.
What priorities do you have for PUD investment and improvements? I think we need to update our system, replace outdated poles and equipment, split up load transmission lines, upgrade or add new substations, keep up with the tree trimming in right-of-ways, and hire our own linemen and service techs to work for PUD.
Thank you. We're going to move to question 2. What role does or should the PUD play in encouraging responsible energy conservation in our county? And Mr. Catlin, you begin and you have 60 seconds.
That's fairly easy. Make sure PUD grid and main power is ready to handle future loads for residential and commercial development. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelleher, you have 60 seconds.
For the conservation, the PUD should be the leader in conservation. Every business and house uses energy. It's an expense to them. So the PUD should be a resource, should make the people the programs that are available mainly through the BPA for conservation, educate people, train people as to the conservation programs available so that you can take those savings and reinvest them how you feel would be best. And I look forward to putting out these conservation programs.
Thank you. Question 3. What is the role of the PUD in promoting economic development in Kittitas County? Mr. Kelleher, you begin and you have 60 seconds.
Thank you, Catherine. As I've said before, everyone is an owner of the PUD, whether you're supplied by Puget Sound Energy, City of Ellensburg, or Kittitas PUD. What is the role of the PUD in economic development? Is deliver our services at the least expense. That's why I'm making a priority to prepare for the relicensing competition for Rock Island Dam so that we can pay less for that resource. In the business, the individual can reinvest the savings as they feel appropriate. All you need to do is go across the river to Grant, to Douglas, to Chelan, all that own a dam on the Columbia River, and you can see the savings that they are using to reinvest in their individual businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Catlin, you have 60 seconds to respond.
Can you repeat the question?
Certainly. What is the role of the PUD in promoting economic development in Kittitas County?
First off, I think the role is to keep the lights on. We need to make our power grid and our lines are updated. Our substations are state of the art, and welcome new commercial and residential people to join our little PUD community. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 4. Once the utility COVID moratorium is lifted, how will you balance the need for customers' extended payment plans and no winter shut off and the PUD's need to stay solvent? Mr. Catlin, you begin and you have 60 seconds.
I've attended some PUD meetings and they have been talking about it seems like they have a handle on the outstanding balances and are working with outside agencies like Hope Source to help the customers. I think as long as the customers who are struggling paying their bill will communicate with the PUD and work on a payment program and stick to it, I'm sure the PUD will work with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelleher, you have 60 seconds.
Thanks, Catherine. I want to remind everybody that they're an owner of Kittitas PUD, no matter who's providing your electrical service. And I would expect in this changing environment, no matter what business you're in, the word was good and the word has changed. Sometimes the next day, sometimes the next week. So we're going to get guidance from above as to things we can and cannot do. But I would expect the owners of Kittitas PUD to hold me accountable as a commissioner to treat our customers that are in these extreme situations in a neighborly fashion and develop plans and programs within that are available to the PUD to bring these accounts current. But basically, I want to be held accountable to treat people as our neighbor because they're our neighbor.
Thank you. Question 5. What impact will newer and better technology like distributed energy rooftop solar or new battery storage have on the PUD? Mr. Kelleher, you start this round and you have 60 seconds.
Well, that's interesting. Thanks, Catherine. The PUD is required to do a resource plan every 2 years. And if you look at the 2017 plan and in the plan that they just released, in 2017, the distributed generation to the current 2019 benchmark increased 400%. In the next planning period, which goes out to 2029, it's projected to increase 250%. But even with that, and what that means is how much distributed generation is going to support our load. Even with that growth, it is only going to be 5% of our load. We get 7% of our load from the Priest Rapids project. But it's an ever-changing technology. We need to be on top of it, and I'm sure it will change those numbers drastically in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Catlin, it's your turn, and you have 60 seconds to respond.
If we can run and save and store electricity, we would be able to serve increased customer base, be better prepared for high usage times, and limit outages and brownouts. Thank you.
Thank you. We have been collecting questions from our YouTube audience. I want to remind our audience that we have only time for 3 questions. Our volunteers may have combined or reworded the questions to maintain nonpartisanship or for clarity. If we do not get to your question, remember, you can always reach out to the candidates via email and ask them directly. So the first question, and we're going to start with Mr. Catlin, and I'm going to read it to you, is, in your view, what does the PUD currently do well? If elected, what would you change? And you have 90 seconds to answer this question.
Currently, I think the PUD does a fair job of getting out to outages, keeping the grid in good shape. I think in years past, I'm a big proponent of having local servicemen and tech. So if you do have an outage, you don't wait so long to get it. Their customer service has been very good. I think it could be better, and that's about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kelleher, the question again is, in your view, what does the PUD currently do well? If elected, what would you change? And again, you have 90 seconds.
Well, obviously, thanks, Catherine. Obviously, the PUD does a good job in supplying electricity to your home. When you turn on the switch, the electricity comes on. I've had some outages at my house, but nothing that we weren't able to work around. So they supply an electricity. I think the one thing that needs to be improved is the cost of electricity. We're $118 per 1,000 kilowatts. We're one of the highest cost public utilities in the state. We exceed PSC rates by $18. The city of Ellensburg's down around 100. We need to get those costs down. There's 2 ways to get the cost down. One is to cut internal expenses. That drives $1. You cut $1 in expense, you drive it right down to the bottom line. And with margins as tight as they are per kilowatt, pennies, if that, cutting $1 out makes a big difference. But the big thing that will make a change is competing for Rock Island Dam. That'll be a major change. It's a 50-year competition that only comes around. You know, I want my grandson to ask me, hey, Grandpa, why are our electrical rates so low, not why they're so high? So I want to compete for that dam and prepare to compete for that dam, and it's got to start today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelleher, the next question you start, and the question is this. Would you change the rate structure of the PUD? If yes, in what way? If no, why not? And you have 90 seconds.
Definitely, there's going to be some changes to rate structure. Some of that is going to be driven by laws that have been passed by the legislature. What you're probably going to see is in PSC already has this, the first 500 kilowatts of your bill is at a discount rate. The other thing to encourage conservation is what they call an inclining block usage. So if you use more power, you pay more. That's one rate that that utilities are using. Conservation is really going to play a dramatic role in future rate setting. Mr. Lenz informed me that PSC no longer sets rates. They're in the conservation business, and they go to a different organization to set their rates. They got to go in front of the state, but conservation is the name of the game in how they're compensated for their investment. Rate setting, what's required is change rates. 2 yes votes on a Tuesday. That's all you need. So really consider who you vote for commissioner, because that's the kind of power a commissioner has. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Catlin, the question is, would you change the rate structure of the PUD? If yes, in what way? If no, why not? And you have 90 seconds to respond.
Thank you. I would like to see the rate structure change. I really, since I am not in a PUD commissioner yet, I don't know where I would look. Conservation is a good spot in it. I would like to see PUD run as fiscally tight as it can and keep the rates as low as possible, or everybody will be in where it'll improve it for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last audience question, Mr. Catlin, you start, and I'm going to read that question. It is, in your view, is the PUD well prepared to handle a major power disruption caused by wildfire? And you have 90 seconds to respond.
I think they're as prepared as anybody. Some places that would scare me are the outlying up in Liberty and those type of places in Canaway, because of the timber and the forests and the people are living where we're delivering power to. I think we would have problems there. I don't think we'd have as much problem from Cle Elum east, but those areas, Liberty and Canaway, are probably two high impact areas where wildfire would do a great deal of damage. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelleher, the question is, in your view, is the PUD well prepared to handle a major power disruption caused by wildfire? And you have 90 seconds.
Thanks, Catherine. I don't really feel qualified to answer that at this time. I'm not familiar with the tree trimming outline along our lines. I will tell you that I have attended Kittitas PUD meetings, Grant PUD meetings over the past 19 years. And in 2001 to 2008, when I was regularly attending, the tree trimming budget was always the first thing to get cut, which made no sense to me. So as a commissioner, we're going to make tree trimming a priority. If it takes moving money from one account to another to keep up on that tree trimming. I was very shocked. This was 8 years ago, 10 years ago. So I don't know what their policy is today. I haven't really examined it, but tree trimming is of the highest priority to me as a commissioner. And if we compete successfully for Rock Island Dam, we'll have a lot of money to trim trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelleher, you go first for the closing statement, and you have 60 seconds.
Well, it's up to you. It's your county. I'm running for commissioner to compete for all of Kittitas County, the owners of Kittitas PUD, so that we can pay less for electricity in Kittitas County. There's only one proven way to do that, and that's to own a dam on the Columbia. There is one left, Rock Island. Nobody told you Wanapum, Priest Rapids, Wells, and Rocky Reach were getting relicensed. It was all a big secret. Well, we can compete, and I want your vote so that we can prepare to compete successfully for Rock Island Dam. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Catlin, you have 60 seconds to make your closing statement.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet and share my ideas. Being a lifelong resident of Kittitas County, I want what's best for our valley, and with my experience as an electrician and business owner, and also a PUD customer, I really do feel that I'd be an asset to the Board of Commissioners. I look forward to putting my experience and my expertise to work for the Kittitas County PUD. Thank you.
I would like to thank Rick Catlin and Pat Kelleher for sharing their views and their willingness to serve as Public Utility Commissioner in District 1. We want to thank our co-sponsor, the Ellensburg Daily Record newspaper, and Ellensburg Community Television, Spectrum Network, and Inland Networks for showing the forum videos throughout the voting season. Finally, thank you to the many league volunteers who make these events possible. To get more information about all candidates running in the 2020 general election, the Kittitas County League has created a nonpartisan online voters guide where you will find links to candidate websites and other helpful resources. You can also get information at vote411.org and at the Washington Secretary of State's office. Your vote matters. Join me by casting your ballot in the November 3rd general election. Thank you for joining us.